I really want the codes from that form put into this billing form. So if you watch the service, obviously, so if you want to put in a service code there, you just click on populate, and you see there you go. And you can do that from any form. If you choose another form to populate it, well, yeah, I have to take one out that will be existing. So, but if I started with the main billing form and chose another form, I can populate the codes from that form. Does that make sense? So there you go. WCB is now a thing of beauty. Okay, that oversells it. So those are the changes that we made to WCB, to the MSP and WCB learning, and it really has changed my objectives. I used to spend a lot of time on Thursdays doing the learning corrections, and now I find I have to go to the coffee shop because I get there, my list is really short compared to what it used to be. So it's a good thing. We're going to swap over now to David. So are there any questions on that stuff?
Is it needed with, like, if it's consecutive visits and you don't need to fill the form, will it still save all the billing information, like the date of injury and the body part? It'll do that now?
Yeah.
Excellent.
I have a question regarding the electronic note being attached to all the invoices. Would that work for the insurers as well for private billings? Are they now going to be attached to all the invoices?
That's not fixed yet.
Okay.
Is that there's a whole new prescriber in Australia now, so what prescribing is going to look different. This is exciting for me. I haven't seen it either. We're not running this in Vancouver yet. But it has a whole new bunch of features that David's going to show you.
Sorry, my Mac desktop doesn't have firewalls.
Oh, good. Oh my God, that's perfect.
And it doesn't have that three-dimensional swapping thing, but I do have that.
That is so 20th century.
Well, what I'm going to show you is a product of a lot of discussion. Again, thanks to Karen Cunningham. She led a group discussion online, basically constructing a wish list for a new prescription program. The old prescription program, which you're using now, it's sort of functional. We have many ways to work around to try to do what you need to do. And so the list grew to I don't know how many items and pages. It was huge. And it became very clear to us that there's not really a good idea to fix the old one with all of its original design, architectural philosophy, and all that kind of stuff, which, by the way, is well liked by pharmacists because it was designed to be very accurate in terms of knowing exactly what pill you're giving and whether you break it in half. Or, it's very precise. And the number of pills you give would correlate with the system when it says, well, the patient is no longer on it. But it actually poses the problem in that most pharmacists don't give 30 pills when you say they give 31. And in fact, the patient may have some pills, but your system will say something like the patient is no longer on it. So there's a lot of issues that are like that. So basically, the master managed to get a bunch of money, and we focused on completely rewriting a new interface. Okay, so I'll show you what we've been using now for about a month. We're kind of eating it at this nutrition clinic, sort of like what Java is doing with the WCB thing. And this will be released in the June of 2010. So again, this is going live to my point. And we do have a fiber line, so we work a little faster than this. So there are two things that you need to do, and that is in your preference up there. Because you can still use your old one because you're not quite comfortable to change that. And so, but if you want to use a new one, you have to set this to the new one. Now, just to show you that what the old one looks like, this would be the old one. Now, we have designed it so that the database would stay the same. So you can flip between the two at any one time you like. Okay. So this would be the old one. Some of the highlights of the old ones, and of course, your favorites and your pharmacies and the color coding to know that okay, this patient is running out of this and running out of that. The color is quite the opposite. We actually had a little vote the last time we meet at the national conference to decide what these colors should look like. The old one says red is patient still on it. Blue means the patient is no longer on it. Okay, and then the orange means that it's running out within a month, but you don't know how many days in a month. Okay, so and again, so it does have things like whether the actually, I'm no longer familiar with this, so I'll because once you get on to the new one, you probably don't want to. So, preference. I want to use the new one. Don't ask me, for some reason, it's now called RX3. I don't remember we ever had an RX2. In programs, there's a very funny way of naming these things. So use RX3, submit. Now while I'm on here, I'm going to do a little sales job. If you've never been to my web lab, you want it, okay? So before the end of this conference, you want to get an account with my web lab. Because you're not going to see most of the things that I'm going to show you on the screen because you don't have a my web lab account. But that's separate from making a prescription. It's all about all kinds of neat features, student support features that you can use in your project. Now, you can set a bunch of other things that I have actually never set. So I'm not going to touch it. Like default quantity in RX3. You think that's sort of intuitive, but since I haven't done this, I'm not going to show you. So now the same page that I go in, I will read it by quite a different screen, just to make sure that, because Jay gave me a list of things that I should talk about. And so I want to make sure I don't miss anything that you want to tell you. The first thing is an entirely new layout. A single screen will do everything. So there is no pop-up, all the screens are all over the place, right? So everything you do dynamically changes to the same screen. No more drop boxes. Okay. So the script looks more like it will be on the paper. So when you actually send on the script, it will actually look exactly like the paper. Now, what I'll show you is that the color has been changed in that now the blue represents the one that the patient is still on. In fact, this patient has 108 days left on that drug.
Oh, yes.
All right. Now, this one is running out, but you still have 18 days.
If they take it.
These are the ones that have already expired with the 0. Okay. And so the color is almost not the opposite. But don't blame me. You guys actually picked the color effective, right? So that's what is being used right now. And now you notice the title is way more detailed. For example, it will tell you it's a long-term net. When you click it, it will just resort everything the way you like to see it. In this case now,